It's about a specific argument, my gorgeous Aries, which you do need to avoid at all costs. So I'm talking about this week here in between the actual 30th of January and the 5th of February 2023, where at the beginning of this week you need to understand that someone is literally going to wind you up to the point where you are gonna want to have an argument, some kind of an argument, and this is coming directly through some kind of misunderstanding. And this in itself, it's so important for you to remember to avoid that argument at all costs. In fact, if you become aware of any argument that you can actually be part of at the beginning of this week, you need to really avoid this like there is no tomorrow. Because if you start that particular argument, if you start this specific argument, things are not going to work in your favor. So you need to be mature, you need to be clever like you always are, and you need to understand this. So if you do, when you do come across the situation that can bring you argument at the beginning of this week, you just need to elevate. You need to elevate and you need to avoid this. And I will tell you why. If you don't avoid this argument, my gorgeous Aries, then very soon after that moment in time, you are going to come across in a ridiculously indecisive situation, and you're not going to have the answer to this indecisive situation. And it's important for you to have the answer to that particular indecisive situation which is going to arise after that moment in time. So this is why this is so important, because if you avoid this argument, direct karmic result after that moment in time is going to be like this. You avoid this argument, you elevate, you do whatever you need to do in order to elevate and in order to avoid this argument. And very soon after that moment in time, you are going to come across this completely indecisive situation, and because you avoided that argument, you are going to have a clear answer, you are going to have a clear direction. Why? Because by you avoiding that particular argument, you have done the right thing when it comes to your karma, indeed, when it comes to your spiritual journey, but also when it comes to your life purpose. This is all very strongly connected, and it's bringing you to this point in your life. So very soon after you realize that you successfully managed to avoid this argument, you are going to come across this situation where you are really going to find yourself completely indecisive. But this is going to be something so important. It's not something random, something little. No, baby, no. This is something extremely important. But because you avoided this argument that I'm talking about successfully, then that means that in itself, it's actually a really kind of giving you the power to understand something you didn't understand before, especially about yourself. But you have to go over this. It's very important. And then on another hand, it's also going to kind of give you and bring you completely different perspective to something that was slowing you down and blocking you for way too long. This in itself, it's not only going to show you exactly what do you need to do, when you become aware of this indecisive situation, but it's also at the same time going to you're going to become aware of the exact adjustment that you need to make, which is indeed going to come in a form of a really good sacrifice. But at the same time, you need to be kind of a brave, and you need to be kind of bold, and you need to be kind of strong as well. You need to be confident as much as you possibly can. So you have to put yourself as a number one, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. And if you don't avoid these arguments, then when you come across, you see what I mean, how things work. It's a spiritual domino. If you kind of don't avoid this argument, and if you do sadly have an argument, then that means that shortly later, when you come across this really big and important indecisive situation, now you're still not going to know what to do. You see what I mean? And then certain things are going to be keep on repeating until you get this right. So you need to remember this. By the time you get to the actual meat part of this week, my gorgeous Aries, it's like, oh my lord, you are going to have a very interesting sign that you need to wait with something, and that you need to be patient about something. But at the same time, that sign, what is going to be even more powerful and more important about that sign is the fact that, you know, that sign is also going to make you aware of, like, that you need to prepare yourself for something, you need to get ready for something. And this is important because at the same time it's to do with something, you know, with an aspect of your life that you've been waiting for absolute ages. It's to do with something that you've kind of left in the past. It's to do with something almost like as if it's to do with like a missing part of you, a lost part of you. You're going to be able to bring something back into your life that was missing for such a long time, and it is indeed an integral part of your spiritual journey. So this will mean to you quite a lot. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Aries, you know, it's like fantastic. You are going to start gaining control over certain aspects of your life that have been kind of draining your energy, and these aspects of your life have been affecting you very strongly for the last 4 months. And that in itself means that you are about to gain confidence, you're about to get a self-esteem, you're about to get this very courageous energy. And that, you know, without you even realizing, it's going to like really kind of affect your own personal balance when it comes to you feeling re-energized. But at the same time, this confidence that you are going to have, it's going to open up so much within you spiritually. And now you're going to find yourself, you know, like kind of having this, like, really, you're gonna find yourself working on something that means to you so much, something so important, something that inspires you, something that you love working on, something that you're extremely creative about at the end of the week. And at the time when you're working on something that you're extremely creative about, you are actually going to have this very unusual vision, like, you know, and this vision that you're going to have is now suddenly, you're gonna start becoming extremely optimistic about specific aspects of your future. And also at the same time, you are gonna understand like a few different things that are actually going to be part of that vision that are really going to surprise you. But it's more about the things that you really need to understand, that you need to be honest with yourself, like what is missing and what do you need to bring into your life, and what you want, you know, your ultimate destination in life to actually be. When it comes to that vision, you know, it's not only like any kind of vision about your future, but what is going to be really interesting is new aspects about that vision. And these new aspects about that vision are also going to make you aware of the fact that you've changed so much over the last year, but also the parts of that vision, new things in your vision are going to remind you the certain things that you've learned over the last year about yourself and about other things, and about certain ideas that you might have forgot about. So this is something that you really need to pay attention to indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Aries, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.